What if the next global conflict wasn't sparked by politics or ideology, but by the relentless thirst for oil, gas, and energy dominance? In a world where energy powers everything, from economies to armies, could resource wars become the spark that ignites World War III? Energy, the lifeblood of modern power. In the 21st century, energy isn't just fuel, it's leverage. Nations that control oil and gas pipelines wield unparalleled power on the global stage. But as resources grow scarcer and demand skyrockets, this balance of power is tilting dangerously. What happens when countries begin to see energy not as commerce, but as a weapon? Chapter 1. The history of resource wars. Conflict over resources isn't new. From the oil fields of the Middle East to the coal mines that fueled industrial revolutions, wars have long been fought over what lies beneath the earth. Today, with oil and gas driving every industry and economy, these battles have escalated into high-stakes power plays. Chapter 2. The Geopolitics of Pipelines. Forget borders, pipelines are the new battleground. From Russia's Nord Stream to the Trans-Caspian pipeline, control over these critical veins determines who supplies and who suffers. Nations like Russia understand this power all too well, leveraging their gas supplies to keep Europe dependent and compliant. Chapter 3. The Middle East, an eternal powder keg. The Middle East remains an epicenter of energy conflicts. As home to over half the world's proven oil reserves, it's both a blessing and a curse. Proxy wars, regional rivalries, and external interference keep the region in perpetual tension. Could another spark in this volatile region trigger something far larger? Chapter 4. The New Players, China and India. Emerging powers like China and India are hungry for energy to fuel their rapid growth. With limited domestic resources, they're venturing into Africa, the Arctic, and even disputed territories to secure supply lines. As they clash with established players, the potential for confrontation grows. Chapter 5. The Arctic, a frozen gold mine. Climate change is melting Arctic ice, revealing untapped reserves of oil and gas, and a new frontier for conflict. With Russia militarizing its Arctic territories and nations like the US, Canada, and Norway staking their claims, the race for the Arctic could become the 21st century's coldest war. Chapter 6. Energy as a weapon. Why invade when you can embargo? Energy-rich nations are increasingly weaponizing their resources. Russia's gas shutoffs to Europe during political disputes and OPEC's manipulation of oil prices are just the beginning. As tensions rise, energy weaponization could escalate into full-blown retaliation. Chapter 7. The Domino Effect of Energy Shortages. An energy crisis in one region sends ripples across the globe. Imagine Europe freezing during winter, Asian industries shutting down, and skyrocketing gas prices in the US. Economic desperation often leads to military escalation. Could an energy shock be the match that lights a global fire? Chapter 8. The Renewable Energy Arms Race. While the world shifts toward renewables, the race for rare earth metals, used in solar panels, wind turbines, and batteries, is heating up. Nations like China, holding a monopoly on these resources, could weaponize them just as oil was in the past. Chapter 9. When desperation fuels conflict. History shows that resource scarcity pushes nations to act recklessly. When vital supplies dwindle, cooperation gives way to confrontation. What happens when countries, driven by energy desperation, make choices that escalate tensions into open warfare? The big picture. Energy is the new battlefield. As the global demand for oil, gas, and renewable resources collides with dwindling supplies, the stakes couldn't be higher. The world isn't just at the brink of an energy crisis. It's staring down the barrel of resource-driven conflicts that could shape the future. If the wars of the past were fought over land and ideology, could the wars of tomorrow be fought over the power that keeps the lights on?